And why does it seem that President Tinubu and the APC are scared of a man called Peter Obi?
How will sane people, sound people who are alive, saying that, what do you call it?
But even me cannot be scared of Peter Obi, not to talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work.
Escobar and Osama bin Laden should rule.
President Tinubu is tired.
Hello guys, welcome back to Chaka Fame. Peter Obi is checking the ground and APC people, they are feeling it. Even to the extent, they are not sending their delegate or whatsoever to all TV stations just to prove to Nigeria that they are not afraid of Peter Obi. You know, when Peter Obi speaks or whenever he grants an interview, it's always check the country. And that is what just happened regarding the interview he granted to Lucky Udu. So in this interview, Peter Obi said a lot of things, which has triggered Tinubu, and now they are doing everything just to kind of dilute that kind of fallout. So without not wasting you guys much time, I want us to watch that interview, a part of that interview. But if you want to complete it, you can go to Lucky Udu channel and complete the full video. So let's watch that interview. But before we do that, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you'll be notified. Thank you very much.
I'm not qualified, I withdraw.
Some of the people who criticize you say your army that led you to win the election in Lagos State and in other states that people didn't expect, that army has dwindled because those voters think, for whatever reason, that their vote will not count, that an opposition party cannot win against the current government.
It is designed so. And that's why I'm appealing to them. Those who are living off the confusion, those who are mortgaging your future, are the ones that are making you believe so. The earlier you realize that even the bonds Nigeria is issuing today are going to be paid, go and check it, 2048, 2050, 2045. We won't be there then. Most of these people who issued this bond are in 70s, 80s. If you add 25, they are gone. So they won't be there when those who own those monies are saying, pay us. And you say, no, it's not. That's what your forefathers have chopped. Please, I'm pleading to the young ones to not get disillusioned. It is designed for you to be disillusioned. They are the ones running to South Africa and are being killed. Not those who are stealing their money. They are the ones who are dying in the ocean. They are the ones who are dying in various places trying to escape this. And I'm saying to them, let's die here. I'm ensured that this rot stops. This is not a country. There is no way we can say that politicians of today in Nigeria are human. If we are, truly, we will not be talking today about the next election. Our preoccupation is how do we get our children out of the bush? How do we put food on people's table? How do we ensure that our children are in school? How do we... There's things we should be talking about. Nobody's talking about it. We are preoccupied in the wrong direction. Our compass is headed in the wrong direction. Right. We must now stop. And they are the ones who will tell us to stop. Right. And because they are disillusioned, that's there. They are being arrested by Yahoo. Let me tell you, I said it before and I continue to say it. Several of the Yahoo boys are people who push into that frustration. There are people who have talents, who if we support very well, can turn the same talent productively. But nobody is asking of them. They're on their own. And these are things I want to do, to mobilize that talent for revolution in different areas. Look at us not being in the World Cup. With the level of talents we have all over the place. When a tiny country like Cape Verde,
you mentioned that.
500,000 people. They're not even up to the people in Ajegunle. I've several times number of people who live in Cape Verde. And it's in Ajegunle that we had created all those talents that used to play. But nobody cares about them any longer. Look at the amount of money people are stealing in government. Money they don't need. Look at what you're seeing everywhere. Somebody owing 50, 70, 100 houses. How? You don't care. We're now rich where we're having agencies. So we're having ministries without anybody knowing it exists. Employing people, holding seminars abroad, collecting money and budget.
On that case, though,
we used to have the ghost workers. Because we didn't do anything.
We have ghost agency.
Soon you become ghost ministries.
Plan for security. Because essentially, one of the big cases against Goodluck Jonathan, who you supported then, leaving office, was that security had collapsed in the country. For a voter like me, that was a key issue. But it seems that 11 years after, 12 years after, we have returned.
Far worse.
So now the government says, one, it is opposition politicians, and two, it's a global collapse.
That is nonsensical.
Okay. Why is it nonsensical, and what are you going to do differently?
It requires political will. One person must be in charge. Is that why the government is in charge? Or they are in charge? If I'm in office, one person must be in charge. And I can tell you I will be in charge.
So you're saying President Tinubu is not in charge?
No, it doesn't show the capacity.
Right.
Truly, if I have, let me use Ibadan for example.
Okay.
If I have 40 children in the bush, I'll be in Ibadan.
What difference would that make?
Big difference.
Okay.
If I decide to move all the security apparatus to that place and deal with it decisively, it is a capacity thing. I'll move there. I've done it in Anambra State. Go and ask anybody. I wasn't delegating. This is the machinery. This is what people want to hear from government. I was in Ibadan over the weekend, and I was shocked. Said in my tweet.
Yes, you said that the president has not called Governor Makinde, the governor of the state.
It's unbelievable. Let me tell you. Today, forget security. I had an erosion in a place called Umuchiani in Ekulobia. By 2 a.m., my phone rang, and they said there's erosion, and a house had collapsed into it. I left my place in Oka and drove to that site 2 a.m. and called President Obasanjo. From there, I said, I'm in a village called Umuchiani. Erosion has just taken place there. A building had fallen into. He answered me 2 a.m. 2 a.m. And that has been the case. When I had one of the most critical robberies, I called President Yaradua. He was calling me daily until that situation was...
Even though two of you were in different parties?
Yes. 50 days. The war Nigeria was outraged that Jonathan did not call for 2 weeks. This is
when the Chibok girls were kidnapped.
Yes. Yeah. This is over 7 weeks. Children, our children cannot be in the bush. And all of us politicians are preoccupied by next election. It is total lack of compassion. If I was president, I would by now convey all party meeting, all party leaders, and we'll decide how to tackle this situation. Among other things, not just this. There's other things we need to tackle.
What would have been said there is 100% truth. Tinubu does not have the capacity. If I'm to compare anything with Tinubu, when it comes to capacity, it's like comparing Tinubu with a walking dead somebody or walking corpse, because that man is not longer active, supposed to be at home enjoying himself. That is what Tinubu needs now, not still running around. He cannot even run around. So now, when we said earlier that the Tinubu government, they are afraid of Peter Obi, there's this video of David Umahi I want us to watch, where he went to Arise TV, tried to prove to Nigeria that him and the government are not afraid of Peter Obi. Let's watch this video.
Coming at this point, so sorry to interrupt you. Critics and analysts, and especially the opposition, are saying, well, if this is the case, then why does it seem that President Tinubu and the APC are scared of a man called Peter Obi? So scared to the point that they are following him from party to party as he moves. And I asked this specific question because, I mean, I've seen some of your statements when you were in the Southeast, and some of the comments around debating Peter Obi and so forth. But all in all, it seems as though APC is scared of Peter Obi. What do you say to those who are putting this narrative forward?
Vimba, even me cannot be scared of Peter Obi, not to talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or our party APC. What displays around Peter Obi is AI politics. It's AI politics. It is putting something on nothing. So nobody is scared about Peter Obi. I read where it was said that Peter Obi said, "Oh, Tinubu should resign because of this," and I asked myself, how many times did Peter Obi resign as governor of Anambra State? Failure to fix the road, failure to establish industry, failure to empower people. Failure to establish airport, failure to establish seaport, failure to pay contractors. And I read where it was said that, the education they said Peter Obi had exploited, was through these miracle centers. And I was also told, that when Obiano, the governor, came on board, number one, he addressed the payment of contractors. And he said the money you put in the bank, was not money because you didn't pay contractors. And it was, money that is put with, particular interest, as it was alleged, And that Jam said to Obiano, if you don't close these miracle centers, we are going to, exclude you from the Jam by this thing. Is it governance? That is not governance, So when you deceive the people, when you say to the poor, "Oh, I'm at your level," and then they are deceived and they are clapping for you, it doesn't make you popular. So it's, I think, and look at the pattern of politics around my brother Peter Obi. You disagree with him, then he takes you to court. How many times have you been abusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? How many has he taken to court? So it means that you don't even have the good temperament. Look at the obedient movement. You disagree. They insult people. They wish people death, threats and all kinds of things. Is that the kind of this? So nobody is afraid of Peter Obi. We demonstrate it. We just had an election in Enugu State, a senatorial by-election. How did Peter Obi perform in that election? And that is showing that our people are beginning to be very strategic and very understanding. If Southeast will be understanding how...
It's only somebody who is guilty will try to prove that he's not guilty. That is the case of David Umahi. Whenever he tries to prove that he is not afraid of Peter Obi, the more we believed that really they are afraid of Peter Obi. So there's still another video I want us to watch of one APC people, one APC member or Tinubu member. I don't want to get to know who he is. In this interview he did on Channel TV, where he talked that things being expensive, it is to the benefit of we Nigerians. Inflation is to our own benefit. I'm not kidding you guys. Let's watch that interview, then we'll come back.
When prices went up in 2020, 2024 of food, farmers made the money. Traders made the money. Importers made the money. They are Nigerians. Okay? People complain about the price of shelter going up in terms of rents. Who is making the money? Who is making the money? Nigerian landlords making the money right now as we speak. So call it a 50-50. If prices goes up, if shelter goes up, Nigerian landlords make the money, they pocket the money. When food prices go up, yam sellers and what have you, farmers make the money in this country. So it doesn't actually, conform with research methods and what have you, for you to just say, oh, people are complaining in that place on a daily basis. So the solution to poverty, really, that we're talking about, is actually at the local government level. And that's the reason why the president has advocated for local government autonomy and has also ensured that the states are a lot more powerful now in terms of the funding that they're getting. And I mentioned to you the fact that, those days where civil servants will be owed 18 months, 12 months, 6 months, is gone. Pensioners are getting their money and all. And I think that's where it matters. And of course, if opposition will think that it's a government that actually pushes finances to the state and the local governments, okay, that ensures that salaries are paid on time and the most vulnerable part of our population actually gets something. So I'm saying that, look, I can tell you.
I wonder what your party will be telling the average Nigerian people.
I can tell you that, honestly, for the very poor people in this country, the situation is getting better. And perhaps better than it used to be, honestly. Because if you are raising money to local government and to state government, that is where it's at. But Tinubu cannot go and give the local man. Let me tell you, the lessons learned from the China Poverty Eradication Program, what they did was to get documentation on every household. So if you really want to solve the poverty problem, you are talking about getting documentation on each household. The federal government knows that you cannot do that. You can only do that through the local government, through the state government. These monies that have been pushed to them is what is going to win the election for us. I have no doubt that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming back in 2027 anyway.
On what basis?
On the basis of what I've just told you.
The performance of this economy?
Replay what I just told you in the last 5 minutes and you see the basis.
All right.
Because the real action is at the state and the local government, and that's where the people live.
All right.
You see, when they say people in APC, they are like zombies. They don't have a brain to even process anything. A grown-up man is telling us if something is expensive, if inflation gets higher, why should we complain? Is it not Nigeria that will be getting that money? But he forgot that everything we are buying in Nigeria is not manufactured in Nigeria. So that money is definitely going out of the country. We should celebrate inflation like APC member said. Now, I like this video from Pastor Ibiyemi, where he said that how could people vote for an Escobar and also Osama bin Laden? We all know the people he's trying to, or is referring to. We know there's one they called drug baron. There's other one where they call he was the founder or a sponsor of Boko Haram in Nigeria. But you can put the dot together. I'm not the one that will say it. So let's watch this video from Pastor Ibiyemi.
How will sound people who are alive, saying that, what do you call it? What's man? What's his name? Escobar and Osama bin Laden should rule. Escobar, but go you Google, who know where Escobar is? Escobar and Osama bin Laden to rule. Sound people to rule a country. Escobar, you know what's Escobar? A drug baron. Heavy drug baron. And then Osama bin Laden was the highest terrorist. That is 2 people like that to rule in any nation of the world. I don't know which nation they want to rule, but any nation.
Escobar and Trump and Osama bin Laden. I not talk, I beg go. May I not let a DSS call the family for us. Now, Pastor B and me call people drug Escobar and Osama bin Laden, but we all know who he's talking to. So I will leave you guys. Before I leave, there's another video I want also to play. That is from Daniel Buela or Daniel Buele. In this conference, that is kind of a gathering where they ask questions, and this is what he has to say also.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here, but to go directly to the question, Yeah. Majority of the people who think that are actually hypocrites. And their hypocrisy was exposed most recently when the people they were supporting suddenly decided to form what they call one opposition. And within the space of 3 months, they have had to change parties 3 times minimum. And then they will have to answer the question that they asked us before. That why did I leave APC and went to PDP and I came back? And their master, incidentally, happens to be Peter Obi, whose checkered history is that of changing parties like a table tennis. So media, for those of us who are practitioners, we know the nuance of media and how it is manipulated to shape a narrative. So when this thing happened, both their followers who are in mainstream media and those of them who are in social media, we have asked them the question to whether apply the principle directly, or if not, why is the application of the principle disproportionate? Because my belief is that Daniel Bwala is not running for any post. But the man who said that he has a vision to lead Nigeria, the man who said he sees where he wants to take the Nigerian people, has not been able to answer basic question. One, which is that anytime he sees a crisis in a party, he runs away. And anybody who will govern a country must be one who knows how to face crisis.
Oh, Daniel Bwala is comparing himself to Peter Obi, saying that because Peter Obi left from one political party to another, that gives him the reason to also say, for him to also move from one political party to another. But there's a big difference. Peter Obi did not insult or criticize the Tinubu government, and then later on and start working for Tinubu. That is a very big difference. Daniel Bwala insulted Tinubu, called Tinubu drug baron, called Tinubu every kind of name. But at the end of the day, he is not defending the man he said is the most corrupt somebody in the entire universe. That is the big difference between him and Peter Obi. Peter Obi has integrity, Daniel has none. So thank you very much. And I will leave you guys with this video from Idris, where he also talk about how Peter Obi is the most credible person to come up for this general election. And he also talk about the defection of this kind of party, like what Daniel Bwala said, that Peter Obi moved from one political party, that nobody should criticize him. So, but before I go, please guys, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon, so that whenever I drop any latest update, you'll be notified. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Mr. Peter Obi contested election under the Labour Party in 2023. And INEC declared that he had 6.1 million votes or thereabout. Although some of us know that Mr. Peter Obi won that election comprehensively, there are at least 2 states in Nigeria where he won that the result was manipulated for another person. A good example is Rivers State. Obiakpo local government result was on INEC portal, and Peter Obi won, but they declared it for someone else. Obiakpo is the local government of Minister Nyesom Wike, the Minister of Abuja, the landlord of Abuja, as they infamously call him. Another example was Benue State. Mr. Peter Obi won 15 local governments in Benue State. Tinubu won 8. But by a stroke of magic, the man who won 15 lost to the man who won 8 in Benue. We can go on and on and on. After that election, INEC declared 6.1 million votes, allocated 6.1 million votes to Mr. Peter Obi. From a day after that election till today, Labour Party never recovered from the crisis that they instigated in that party. As a matter of fact, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, pronounced that the Peter Obi's faction, if I can call it that, the Peter Obi's side of the Labour Party was the legitimate side of the Labour Party. INEC refused to recognize them. I'm talking of Nenadi Usman-led National Working Committee. INEC refused to recognize them. Until Peter Obi left, 2 weeks later, INEC recognized them. Then comes the ADC. The day Peter Obi stepped into the ADC, it did not take a week before a man who had signed his resignation
A man who by himself, who was not high on grass, signed his resignation. All of a sudden said he didn't sign his resignation. With a certified true copy presented to INEC. He said he did not resign again. And our court listened to that kind of folly. And the man became a problem. And then came several other litigations against the African Democratic Congress. Having seen that they were determined to set the house on fire, and like he would say, they want to set the house on fire, so I will not be there. He left and went to the NDC. The NDC was a clean party. No litigation. As a matter of fact, the day he joined the NDC, he said, there is no litigation. Carry all your litigation and go. We don't have any problem here. There was no pending court case in the NDC. There was no argument about the validity of the NDC. Only for this manufactured court case. As a matter of fact, the PMP listed one of the national officers of the NDC that is not even aware that his name has been put on court papers. And several other things that even the naked eye can see. So the ultimate target is Mr. Peter Obi. And the reason is simple. He is today unarguably, the most popular Nigerian politician. You see him at the airport. You see him in the market. You see him wherever he goes. He's very well respected. He lives the life of the people. He lives the life of the common man. He identifies with the people. He identifies with the pains, suffering, the vagaries, the vicissitudes of the ordinary man. Whereas our so-called leaders live in opulence. The First Lady just suggested a couple of days ago that Nigerians should go and start frying akara. Nigerian women, they should fry akara, they should cook corn. My question to her is that if the country was broken the way it is now, she would probably be frying akara somewhere in Lagos. But they had a country that worked for them. Now they're advising the younger ones to go and fry akara. People who read nursing end up as lash tech, as nail tech. People who read engineering end up as keke driver, end up as boat driver, end up as Uber driver. In this country, I have had to drive Uber. I studied industrial mathematics and I was extremely sound when I was in school. The records are there. But I've had to be a teacher, a lesson teacher, a teacher that earns 30,000 a month, a driver, a interstate driver for that matter sometimes. Done businesses, got frustrated in this country. They found my voice talking about government. And these days now, whatever we do, we have to hide it. Because if you do not hide it, they'll come after it. That is the country we live in. So, the length and breadth of my conversation is Nigerians must retrieve their country from those who are trying to claw it into the ground.